The real power move. Nobody wants you to know. Pray for them and watch yourself win. I recently sat down with Hope B, and what they shared with me didn't just shift my perspective, it cracked open something I've been holding on to for far too long. Hope B is someone who has dedicated their entire existence to one mission: helping Black women shatter the cycles of pain that have held them hostage, reclaim the peace that was stolen from them, and step into the fullness of who they were always destined to be. Their work isn't just transforming lives, it's rewriting the entire narrative of what strength, survival, and success actually mean. One conversation at a time, one prayer at a time, one release at a time. And what Hope B revealed to me is so disruptive, so counterintuitive, so radically different from everything we've been taught that I knew I had to share it with you today. Here's the revolutionary insight: you can pray for the people who hurt you, release yourself from them completely, and step into a better life, a thriving life, a life that's actually yours. Now, before you shut down, before you roll your eyes, before you think I've lost my mind, hear me out. I know what you're thinking. Pray for them, the ones who betrayed me, the ones who lied to my face, manipulated my trust, exploited my labor, abandoned me when I needed them most. Yes, exactly them. And here's why this matters more than you could ever imagine. We've been taught that holding grudges is protection, that remembering every single wrong done to us keeps us sharp, keeps us safe, keeps us from being hurt again. We've been told that forgiveness is weakness, that letting go means letting them win, that if we release the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, we're somehow betraying ourselves. But what if I told you that the exact opposite is true? What if the real power move, the ultimate act of reclaiming your life, your energy, your future, your empire, is not in holding on, but in releasing? Hope B helped me see something I'd been blind to my entire life. When we carry the weight of betrayal, when we replay the hurt over and over in our minds like a broken record we can't turn off, we're not punishing them. We're punishing ourselves. We're giving them free rent in our heads, in our hearts, in our businesses, in our dreams, in our futures. And every single ounce of energy we spend on bitterness, on anger, on revenge fantasies is energy we're stealing from our own breakthroughs, from our own joy, from our own freedom. Let me tell you about Shafona Morgan. Shafona is a Black woman who spent her youth behind bars, incarcerated, broken, fractured in ways most people will never understand. She was living in survival mode with a future that looked more like a dead end than a doorway to anything beautiful. Most people in her position would have given up, would have accepted that this was it, that the pain, the brokenness, the system that tried to destroy her had won. But Shafona did something that most people would call impossible. She surrendered her pain to God. She walked into therapy even when it felt unbearable. She showed up at church even when she felt unworthy. She educated herself relentlessly, devouring knowledge like it was oxygen. She found her voice on local radio, speaking her truth, healing herself one word at a time. And slowly, piece by painful piece, God rebuilt her, not into who she was before the pain, into someone stronger, someone unbreakable, someone who now leads her community, inspires thousands, and shows other Black women that redemption isn't just possible, it's inevitable when you surrender. Shafona didn't just survive, she thrived. And it started with a prayer that released the people and the systems that tried to destroy her, a prayer that said, I'm not carrying this anymore. I refuse to let what happened to me define what happens next. A prayer that freed her to build something beautiful, something powerful, something that now changes lives. Now, let's talk about Alicia Keys. You know her name, you know her music, you've heard her voice 1,000 times. But do you know her story? Do you know what it cost her to become the legend she is today? Alicia Keys grew up in the Hell's Kitchen projects in New York City, raised by a single mother who did everything she could to keep them afloat. At 16 years old, Alicia was signed to a record deal that should have been her big break, her golden ticket, her dream come true, but instead it became a trap, a predatory contract that stripped her of creative control, that tried to own her voice, her narrative, her entire future. And for years, she was stuck, bound by a system that was designed to exploit her, not elevate her. But Alicia did something bold, something most people are too afraid to do. She broke free. She released that toxic contract. She walked away from what was hurting her, even when it was terrifying, even when people told her she was making a mistake. She reclaimed her story. She leaned into authentic self expression, into faith aligned surrender, into the belief that something better was waiting for her on the other side of release. And she rebuilt her career on her own terms. Today, Alicia Keys is a legend, not because she played by the rules of an exploitative industry, but because she had the courage to release what was hurting her and step into what was hers. That's the power of release. That's what happens when you stop letting the people and systems that hurt you control your next move. That's what happens when you choose freedom over familiarity. And then there's Jomeka Hawkins. Jomeka is a Black entrepreneur who turned trauma into fuel. She faced pain that would have crushed most people, loss that would have made most people quit, adversity that demanded constant survival, constant vigilance, constant exhaustion. But Jamaica made a decision that changed everything. She owned her story. She stopped running from it, stopped hiding it, stopped pretending it didn't exist. She released the cape. You know the cape I'm talking about. The one that says you have to carry everything, fix everything, be everything for everyone all the time, without rest, without help, without breaking. She put it down. She embraced softness, not as weakness, as wisdom. She healed in real time, refusing to wait until she was perfect before she started building. And from that place of release, from that place of surrender, she built a business rooted in unstoppable determination, unshakable resilience, and a vision that refuses to be dimmed. Jomeka didn't wait until she was fully healed to start thriving. She healed while she built. She released while she rose. She let go while she grew. And now she's empowering other Black professionals to do the same, to release the burdens, to redefine strength, to create freedom in business and in life without apology, without explanation, without permission from anyone. Three women, three completely different stories, three different paths, one common thread. They prayed, they released, they thrived. So let's break this down. What does it actually mean to pray for those who hurt you? And why does it work when everything in us says it shouldn't? First, praying for your betrayers breaks their spiritual hold over you. When you pray for someone, you're not doing it for them. Let me say that again. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. You're telling the universe, telling God, telling your own spirit, I refuse to let this person have power over my peace anymore. I refuse to let what they did control what I do next. You're cutting the invisible cords that keep you tied to the pain, tied to the past, tied to the version of yourself that was hurt. And when those cords are cut, your energy is freed. Your focus sharpens, your creativity flows, your entrepreneurial breakthroughs become possible because you're no longer operating from a place of hurt. You're operating from a place of freedom, from a place of power, from a place of peace. Second, surrendering hurt to God rebuilds you stronger. This is not about pretending the pain didn't happen. This is not about toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing or slapping a smile on a wound that's still bleeding. This is about taking the pain, the betrayal, the trauma, the injustice, and handing it over to something bigger than yourself. When you surrender, you're not giving up. You're letting go of the need to control the outcome, to get revenge, to make them pay, to prove you were right. You're trusting that God, the universe, your higher power, whatever you call it, will rebuild you. And here's the truth that nobody tells you: you don't come back the same. You come back stronger. You come back wiser. You come back leading from overflow, not exhaustion. You come back soft but unshakable, gentle but unmovable, peaceful but powerful. Third, releasing those who harmed you unlocks joy, rest, and wealth building without apology. When you're no longer carrying the weight of what they did, you have room for what you want. You have space for joy. You have permission to rest. You have the mental and emotional bandwidth to build wealth, to design a career rooted in self trust, not improving your worth to people who never valued you in the first place. You stop performing, you start living, you stop surviving, you start thriving. This is the soft girl era. This is what it means to unlearn survival and rediscover softness. It's not about being weak. It's not about being passive. It's not about letting people walk all over you. It's about being wise enough to know that your peace is more valuable than your pride. It's about being bold enough to say, I'm not carrying you anymore and I'm not apologizing for it. It's about redefining strength as the courage to rest, to release, to reclaim your life from the people and systems that tried to steal it. Hope B reminded me of something I needed to hear, something I think we all need to hear. We are living testimonies. God will use what was sent to destroy you to build you up. That's not just a nice saying you put on a motivational poster. That's a strategy, that's a blueprint. That's how you turn pain into power, trauma into triumph, survival into something sacred, something that heals not just you, but everyone you touch. But here's the thing: this doesn't happen automatically. You have to make a choice. You have to decide that you're done. Done carrying people who don't deserve the weight. Done replaying the hurt like it's your favorite song. Done letting betrayal block your blessings, your breakthroughs, your birthright. You have to actively choose release. And that choice starts with a prayer. So let me ask you, who are you still carrying? What betrayal are you still replaying? What hurt are you still letting steal your energy, your focus, your joy, your future? And more importantly, what would your life look like if you released it today, right now, this moment? Imagine waking up tomorrow without the weight. Imagine building your business, leading your team, showing up in your relationships, creating your art, living your life from a place of peace instead of pain. Imagine the breakthroughs that are waiting for you on the other side of release, the opportunities, the connections, the joy, the rest, the wealth. Imagine the version of you that's thriving, not just surviving. That version is real. That version is possible. That version is waiting. And it starts with a prayer. Pray for the person who betrayed you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Pray for their healing, their freedom, their peace. And in doing so, you'll find your own. You'll break the spiritual hold they have over you. You'll reclaim your energy. You'll step into the life that's been waiting for you all along. This is not about being soft in a way that makes you small. This is about being soft in a way that makes you unstoppable. This is about redefining strength. This is about protecting your peace as a practice, not a luxury. This is about turning your pain into purpose, your survival into something sacred, your story into a testimony that changes lives. So here's your call to action: not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Identify one person, one betrayal, one hurt that you're still carrying like a boulder on your back, and pray. Pray boldly, pray fiercely, pray for their freedom and for yours. And then take that energy, that freed up space in your spirit, in your mind, in your heart, and channel it into your next business boundary, your next bold move, your next breakthrough, your next level. Your soft girl era starts here. Your empire is waiting. Your peace is calling. Your freedom is possible. And the only thing standing between you and it is the weight you're still carrying. Release it, pray through it, step into it. The life you've been dreaming of, the peace you've been craving, the joy you've been chasing, it's all on the other side of release. So let go, pray, and watch God build your empire from the ashes of what tried to destroy you. Who or what are you still carrying that God wants you to pray over? Release today and watch transform into your greatest testimony. The answer is in your hands. The power is in your prayer, and the breakthrough is in your release.